Thanks for downloading a 3CR podcast. 3CR is an independent community radio station based in Melbourne, Australia. We need your financial support to keep going. Go to www.3cr.org.au for more information and to donate online. Now stay tuned for your 3CR podcast.
We're putting up new buildings, we're knocking down the old. We're working in the summer heat and in the winter cold. And the labour power we sell, me boys, for a hard-earned weekly pay produces mighty profits for the greedy MBA. And whether we were born here or born in Italy, in Greece, in Spain or Ireland, in England or Fiji, we all of us are workers, united we must stand, until the wealthy bludgers have been driven from our land. We faced deregistration, it backfired in the face. We're not fooled by arbitration, we won't stay in our place. We hit the bosses hard and fast to win and keep our gains, and break a couple of concrete pours to back our log of claims. So keep your powder dry and hold your head up high. It's class to class and face to face, our limit is the sky. We've got a fighting history and we never will be cowed. Our builders' labour is a name to make a man feel proud.
Good morning, Gorilla. Good morning, Colin. Buzzer's here, String Bean's here, and he's a bit crook today. So Anya is here. Anya's on the panel, trying to make sense out of an experience that she probably will never see repeated in her life. The gorilla's been caught halfway to talking.
No, well, you introduce us, but then you don't let us say good morning to the listeners, mate. And then you rattle on for half an hour and the show's over. Good morning to the listeners out there.
The only way it should be.
There is no worse a death than being talked to death. Mark Twain.
Oh, jeez. What's he
Good
been?
morning.
What's he been doing? The rabbit.
Oh, you can tell Christmas is coming.
Hang on.
Everyone's had enough.
Good morning, everybody out there. I hope you're having a great weekend and everything's going fine. And I think there's about 28 or 30 days to go and it's all over. So we're counting down to the end of the year and hopefully we can push on strong in the last quarter, as I say. And I suppose the most important thing in the last quarter is the EBA negotiations. Stay tuned.
That's right. Now, but first of all, we should make commentary on what's been going on in Queensland this week. Our good friends from Turk, the Trade Union Royal Commission and their Hercules, otherwise known as Hercules in English,
Hey, take it easy with those big
words, have been very busy raiding the Queensland branch office and trying to justify their existence. I think they need to look like they're actually doing something because so far it has been a bit of an embarrassment. I would have said, Colin, that the ZAF allegations, which filled pages and pages of the Fairfax media and took up a lot of time on the 7:30 report, has come to very little.
Absolutely zero. And it was interesting last Friday, once again, the Trade Union Royal Commission released some sort of apology to the Secretary, John Setka. Happens in the middle of the night, all these press releases, so the mainstream media won't pick it up. But yes, Andrew Zaff's evidence was absolutely thrown out of the park.
I think it's a bit unfair on Andrew, just because he stabbed himself in the leg and got a few things mixed up. Just a bit harsh on him.
Ever the generous one, Gorilla.
He must be a sad individual to sit there and dream of all that stuff just to try and get at someone. He must be a bit sad. He must be a bit lonely in his life if that's the best he can come up with. I hit my finger with a podgy once. I was at Crook at work. I thought, geez, I felt like I was going to die. I was at Crook, so I hit my finger with a podgy. Went up to the hospital, thought I'd get out of work, saw some bloke get carved through. His head looked like been through a mincer, looked at my finger and went back to work. So I went for all that pain for nothing. I split my son.
I had a couple at lunchtime just to feel better.
I split my son's head open once building a little boat for his school, and and had to get stitches. And I told his mother that he just fell over because I wasn't much good at the boat building. Let me tell you, right?
I'd like to see you building the boat, Buzzer. I'll tell you. And by the way, that's child abuse.
I'm glad you weren't around when they had to build Noah's Ark, mate. We would have been in all sorts of trouble.
We would have been dead, or good swimmers.
The comrade next to me, you've been to his garage. He's still got all the old cranes in your garage, or what?
Oh, please.
No, I haven't. We'll talk about cranes and chains a bit later on, mind you.
Indeed we will. But first of all, we've got to remind everybody that between now and Christmas there is a very important event, and that is...
My competition.
Other than your competition. It's the picnic, and the picnic is on the first Monday in December, and that's the 7th.
Correct.
And it is at Caulfield, as well as a number of regional picnics around Victoria. And they are Traralgon, Geelong, Ballarat and Bendigo. And then the following week on the 14th, Wodonga and Mildura.
And there's just one we've left out there, my all-time favourite, Portland, on the 7th.
Oh, sorry, yes.
That's where we had the snake charmer, wasn't it?
And we've had a bit of action down in Portland this week.
Yeah, the only bloke got bitten by his own snake, I'll tell you.
And it was a bloody poisonous one.
Oh, poisonous one.
There's been a bit of action down Portland this week with the Alcoa, hasn't there? And a few boats down there.
Yeah, Alcoa's in a bit of trouble.
There's been a bit of a blue there, the MUA, brothers from the MUA there. That's right.
Yes, and we'll be hearing more of that as the company tries to create a dispute down there about coastal shipping and the manning of coastal shipping by Australian seamen. Anyway, the picnic's on. It's $40, 2 adults plus kids, and we're in a situation where it is going to be bigger, better than ever. And folks, we are expecting everyone to buy their tickets and make sure they attend. If your delegate hasn't got tickets on the job, give him a kick in the arse and make sure he gets them to the job as quick as possible.
But if you see a snake charmer, don't go near him, or don't go on the horse and cart.
Indeed.
We've had a bit of bad luck with him.
The competition.
Oh, mate, the competition. Just been down to the pigeonhole. I'll tell you what, you couldn't get another entry in there. They're stacked about 4 feet high. It is burning. So don't forget, listeners, anyone that's got I think we've got one more week to go. Want to ring into the Concrete Gang or ring in the union office and tell them what you love about the Concrete Gang and what you don't like about it. Well, it's running hot, and you can get a lovely prize. Is a $100 voucher for the Palace Hotel for a nice meal and drinks and all that. Sensational. At the moment, we've got 2 entries.
that have stood out.
That have stood out, I mean, there's been about 200, but 2 have stood out. And so we've... You've got a week to get your entry in, and we will make sure you get your prize.
So all the ones that sent in shit entries, hard luck. But there are some good entries. And
I thought Reedy might have sent something in. I'm
a bit disappointed that Uncle Trev.
He could have won it with that last
Uncle Trev is a bloke who listens to the Concrete Gang every week and has some thoughts, and he's expressed those thoughts
and very valid thoughts they were too.
Indeed.
Except one person on our panel got a little bit upset, but we thought they were very valid, didn't we?
Chuck a rock into a pack of melon dogs. The one that yelps the loudest is the one you hit. Righto, moving right along. As Colin suggested earlier, we're going to talk cranes and chains.
Cranes and chains, yes. And I think we did mention last week about this time of year, the rush, and this is the time when we have most accidents of the year because bosses always win these jobs on stupid programs they know they can't meet. They put all the pressure on the workers, push, got to get this done by Christmas. Well, last week, I think it was last Sunday, they were putting up a crane at Chadstone, at ProBuild, general contractors lifting up a jib with an 8-ton jib with chains, which is not very good either. Lift them with chains, and usually use soft slings, which is probably the only time you should use soft slings is on a jib of a crane. And one of the legs of the crane snapped. Luckily, it was just off the ground, or hadn't just quite got off the ground. And then, obviously, the health and safety representative for ProBuild, not our bloke, but the management side, I think, rang general contractors and asked them whether they should keep lifting it. And, of course, what would they say? Said, oh, yeah, but it'll be fine, which they did. They lifted it up. But out of all that, we have unearthed a couple of things. The chain that broke had been visually inspected about 6 weeks ago. Now, where it broke, if you know the chains, the links, when they welded together, it looked like the weld hadn't been sealed properly. You could see rusted actually inside, so it never picked up the million years visually. So what we're saying now is, I think under the code, once every 12 months, chains have to be tested, but it doesn't stipulate whether it's mechanically or visually. And what's been happening, a lot of them have just been doing visual. So we're saying now all chains have to be mechanically checked once every 12 months. So that hasn't been done, boys. Ship them off to the testers and get them done.
Yes, it will be a very Merry Christmas for all the testing companies. Bullivants and the rest of them, they're all going to be very, very happy.
Yeah, Nobles, Robertsons, they're all in it.
They're all in it.
And make sure you got the paperwork on the job that matches a serial number on that chain, on that rabbit.
The tag.
The tag on the ring.
There has to be a tag on every ring.
And you need the paperwork. So the paperwork will tell you whether it's been visually or mechanically tested. It's got to be mechanically tested.
And just think, if that particular incident had taken place with the load well in the air, the consequences would have been a whole lot more horrific.
Just to let you know that obviously went up. So then we stopped the crane. It wasn't work for a week, and they had to get an engineer up in the box and go right over all the welds on the jib, make sure there's been no damage done to it.
Just another quick thing on something just slightly different. There was a 7:30 report during the week about imported steel. And the problems associated coming from China and Korea and all that. And let me tell you, there's some bridges in Busselton, West Australia, and bridges in Sydney that are starting to buckle very badly because of the quality of imported steel. So that's could be a huge problem going forward. It probably is a huge problem at the moment. Well, Buzza, the greater steel isn't quite as good as the greater steel that's manufactured here.
Buzza, you have just wound us up into our first track of the day.
We're going to what is it?
Segue.
Yeah, we're going to segue into
We're going to play Shipping Steel by Cold Chisel.
Oh, how's that? Perfect. Victor the predictor.
Now he's going to claim the credit.
How's that?
You don't fight, you lose. Concrete gang, here to stay. Don't fight, you lose. Dare to struggle, dare to win.
We'll fight for our rights, that's what we do.
No, that's all right. They'll do that Sunday morning. Have a couple of coldies.
What about the old EMAC rigging? Remember them? They used to like a few drinks before the friggin' start of play.
I could tell you a few stories about drinking before working, but anyway, we're not going out. After we do our new
Central Club, Waterside. We won't go into that.
Waterside.
Because we've got a new culture in our industry and we're very proud of our achievement that we are responsible.
I saw the best punch ever thrown in my life in the Watersider. After me fourth pot, at about 6 o'clock on a Friday morning, this woman punched this other woman out, and mate, it was frightening. I've never seen a punch like it in my life. All the boys drank up at the left when they saw that, I'll tell you. Got them to work on time.
Yes, well, we could tell a few stories about the Waterside, and somehow or another one day we got to all the way up near Bendigo to the Loddon prison. We're still drinking. I don't know what we did, and we somehow got home. Never mind.
What about the joint?
Silly days.
What about the joint that the police dogs found in the car? Remember that?
Wasn't my car.
And poor old Red Knob got locked up for another week or something.
Moving right along, and it has been a big week because the concrete gang seems to have an effect far beyond our expectations.
Yes.
And we just say something on the concrete gang, and next minute it's all happening out there on site. And we're not talking about drinking and drug abuse, right? We're talking about actually showing a bit of respect, and we did bring up.
Yeah, we did. We brought up
Remembrance Day and buying a red poppy.
And on one of the jobs, on a special cheer out of the brothers out at Caulfield, the rules were no one had if you didn't buy a poppy, you didn't get a lift in the alley, Mac. You had to walk the stairs. So fantastic effort out there, boys. But it got mentioned on 3AW.
Yes, indeed.
So don't tell us we're not on the cutting edge here at the concrete gang. Another first here.
The cutting edge, I love it.
Tell you what, mate, me competition will be jumping through the roof next week.
There's a few people having a go at us with the new CFMEU TV up and about, but we'll be here forever and a day. We've been here for a long time and we'll keep going.
40 years.
40 years next year. Righto, let's start talking about the EBA because it's happening. Yes, indeed, folks. Under the Fair Work Act, we have a process that has to be followed, and that process is being followed right now.
To the letter.
To the letter of the law.
When have we ever worried about that before?
Well, we're worrying about it now because let's be very frank and perhaps a little bit brutal. Our friend Julia Gillard did nothing for the trade union movement with the introduction of the Fair Work Act. She basically made every industrial action illegal unless it was in relation to an enterprise bargaining agreement, and it set down a procedure under the Fair Work Act as to what you had to do to have legal industrial action. So just for all those bosses out there listening, we are going to follow the Fair Work Act to the letter of the law. And the consequence of that will be next year is a perfect storm. All the unions in the construction industry have their EBAs coming up for renewal. And 2, we are preparing the groundwork to put ourselves in a position where if we don't get a decent outcome from negotiation with the individual companies, then we'll be looking at taking protected action. And
the old guerrilla tactics.
Oh. And, folks, if you're a builder with tight schedules, if you've put yourself in a position where...
Hock your ass.
Yeah, that's right. You will be enjoying the benefits of Julia Gillard's Fair Work Act.
Oh, I love it when you talk dirty, Warren. Oh, I've got to tell you, I'm chomping at the bit. My mouth's watering at that. I can't wait. I reckon
there's a few bosses who are shitting themselves at the moment.
And good morning, Ashley. I hope you're enjoying the show.
he actually had a heart attack. He's had a heart attack. Did you know that,
Who?
Ashley? Ashley's had a heart attack, and he's. I'll just let you inform that, and he's had to have a triple bypass. So I suppose we can wish him all the best.
No, we can. Special cheerio, Ashley. I hope he hasn't choked now, but anyway. Special cheerio to my old mate Ashley. Good on you, mate. We'll make sure we'll send you a card, mate.
Yeah, Ross and the boys,
and we'll be in touch.
And for all the other bosses who are listening, we're not mucking around. We're getting on with it.
Yeah,
enjoy it. Happy Christmas. Because the new year's going to be a beauty. Righto, we're going really well here because we've got to mention a couple of things. One, the Journal will be out within the next 2 weeks. It'll be out before Picnic Day.
It'll one of your string boon will be out.
Oh, yeah, well, yes. Well, the fridge magnets and the pocket calendars will be coming out with the Journal. Increasingly, the word has got around that the calendar's available on the website. It's going to be available on the app. It's out and about, and it's a bloody beauty, if I don't mind saying so myself. Now, we're going to have a little, before we get to Scallywags, we're going to have a little sermon. A little sermon, which we have to do every week in the lead up to Christmas, because the Christmas push is on, and it's only 5 weeks to Christmas, and... guess what? All those bosses who want to avoid protected action next year are trying to make sure that they get the job finished before Christmas. You got no hope. But what they'll do is push people so hard that basically health and safety goes out the window in terms of production versus health and safety. As far as they're concerned, it's production. So, folks, you start getting used to the idea that you've got to slow the job down and make sure it's done safely.
Now, just one quick thing too, I forgot to tell you about the EBA. I got an email sent here from a certain builder, Cockram's, and he quoted Daryl Kerrigan off the castle, tell them they're dreaming, on the claim.
Oh, is that right, Cockram's? Yeah, wow.
What do you think?
I know what I think.
Time will tell.
Well, the castle is... a movie from the past, a bit like Cochrane's. Righto, the Christmas push. Come on, you all know
Absolutely,
what's
yes, 100%. As Buzza just mentioned earlier, I think there's 23 working days left, and the bosses will be trying every move they can, everything they can to get their progress payment before Christmas, etc. Don't tumble. Don't tumble for it, all right? Because this is a highly dangerous time at the moment in the industry when the push is on. Christmas parties are going and so forth. It's the time now to be extremely vigilant.
Yes, and out there on the business part of Chadstone, Carleys are out there working out there, and they've got more first aid books, more injury books in the State Library. They're about 3 volumes, and Paul Carley's identified that's worked all the hours they're working. And he said they don't want to be working all the hours. So anyone's got Carley jobs, Carley working on their jobs, it's come from Paul Carley. They're working too many hours, so cut back the hours.
Yes, indeed, and unfortunately, while it might seem that we're bloody going on about it, if someone is killed in this lead up to Christmas, the whole industry's going to know about it, because that's going to sounds to me like it's going to be one day less production.
Touch wood.
Touch wood. Righto, scallywags.
Oh,
Royal Commission.
We've gone early with the scallywags.
Oh yeah, but there's a bit to talk about.
Oh, cool.
I've got one.
And I think we need to flesh the scallywags out a bit too.
Flush them out as well.
Flush them out. Yeah.
The Royal Commission, because they're trying to keep themselves front and centre in the media, and their police task force, Turk, and all the rest of it is a situation which we have to keep talking to people about, because there's going to be a bit of time delay, but there will be a report handed down by the Royal Commissioner, Mr Dyson Hayden, and out of that will come a whole lot of legislation which will be attacking unions. So keep that in mind.
Right, what else we got?
Chevron. I want to just quickly name Chevron, because did you see the rorts they were up to for not paying tax and the amount of money, right? 200 companies in Bermuda and another 200 somewhere else, and they lend money here and lend money there and all the rest of it. And at the same time, they take on the union over every single issue. I reckon we should not nominate them.
Righto.
Very good in the international stuff, Buzz. They're very good, mate.
We got anything from Tasmania this week?
They paid enough tax to buy a tail light for a HQ Holden.
Jeez.
Righto, and they're imported cheap. Righto, generals.
Yeah, well, we've already done that, haven't we?
Well, yeah, but we're nominating generals.
General contractors, yes.
The sets of chains are the ones that have been out the back of the shed for the last couple of years, and suddenly got to put some chains on a job, and they're bringing them out.
And the gorilla was right about the soft slings. That's the only place you should be using them on on the boom of a crane. It's a very important piece of the whole structure, and that's where they should be using the soft slings. I don't know why they'd be using chains, gorilla, but there you go.
Yeah, well, I know why, but it's very, very, very ordinary. And remember, those soft slings too killed 3 of our members. And if I had my way, there wouldn't be a soft sling in Australia. But I'm working on that.
Righto. Now we've got a nomination from Adam Hall, CPS. Started, I think, nearly 4 years ago now, when the new EBA came in. Didn't note what the actual outcome of that EBA was, and now they're facing a lot of back pay. Halls also got nominated. Buzz, you nominating Halls?
Yeah, I'm nominating Halls, and it's about time to everyone listening out there that they started doing the right thing on some of these non-union jobs and letting us know what's going on, right? And we'll take it from there. But James Hall definitely deserves to be nominated.
Well, saying a non-union, the builder's non-union, but all the blokes are in the union.
That's right. Sorry, I'll get that right.
Just going to clear that up. Yeah.
Righto. We got anyone else?
I don't know. You got the list in front of you.
Well, I've got a list.
Hey, can I change the song? Late song. I was wondering called Cheap Wine would be appropriate, wouldn't it?
All right. Okay.
All right.
Righto.
Geez, I've had 2 picks in one show.
Is that extra on you to change it?
That's your full quota for the year. Righto. Who are we going with for Scallywag? Come on.
I'm going Generals.
Yeah, I think I have to go Generals too. That's a bit near and dear to me heart, that stuff. So,
well, given what a catastrophe it could have been,
yep.
What any of those sets of chains fail, it is catastrophic.
But all jokes aside, I mean, when you think about what we've gone through over the years to get the cranes right with the green stickers and make sure when they're put up, because don't forget, they're lifting loads over the public, over people's heads on the job, over the public, and we've put all this work into all the cranes to make sure they're safe, but just throw any sets of change you like on them. So,
as Warren said, out the back shed. Yeah.
Righto. Well, obviously, our good friends from General Contractors are the unanimous winner, except for Buzza, who
gone to sleep.
Who wants to? He has gone to sleep, but never mind. Righto.
Yes, that is. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We've got just one more reminder. The picnic, it is coming up on the 7th. It is important, as it always is, to make sure that people are in attendance. There will be need for proof of attendance. You need to have proof of attendance to guarantee you get your day's pay. And maybe $40 seems a bit extreme, but I tell you what,
$40.
If you went to the Royal Show, you'd be paying $140 for even the most basic day out. So, folks, it's a cheap day out. It's a good day out. Enjoy it. Make sure you've got your ticket. Make sure you get proof of attendance.
And make sure you get your 3CR fridge magnet. They'll be getting handed out, hopefully. I hope the old string bean delivers.
Well,
we're getting the thumbs up in the corner there.
The thumbs up in the corner. String Bean reckons he is an absolute Monty.
He's gone the early crow, String Bean. So we should go out in the same old way.
Dare to struggle.
Dare to win.
If you don't fight,
you lose.
Good morning from the Concrete Gang, and we're going out with
cold chisel, cheap wine.
And by the way,
I love it.
The ETU's got their popping colours there.
I left it all behind.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.